interesting number on AEW last night. Did you see the number?
No.
711,600, that's 16% increase from last week. So just did 711,000. Good, really good number for them. I'd like to see the quarter hours because they did something very interesting here. So the show starts off with MJ. Okay, so they hyped up so they hyped up their main event. Okay, to start the show. All right, so maybe this has one of the reasons that they did a good number. Then they had a promo from MJF to start the show because he's in the main event. He trash talked Briscoe and called Hangman a coward. And so he then said one of Mark Briscoe would pay for Hangman's sins. He called himself evil, and he said he had no fire, sending Briscoe back to hell, a.k.a. Delaware, and go back to being a loser, a blue collar. He said Briscoe was white trash. You got lucky. The people cheer for him because they pity him. So tonight, Briscoe's luck would run out, and you see him in the main event. So it starts off good. John Moxley versus Speedball Bailey. Marino was out there, so the Kevin Knight came out there. Bro, this was like a 14. This match was way too long. Just, I don't, so, I mean, I don't, bro, it's kind of crazy. They're giving Speedball Bailey is on every single week. And like, all he does is wrestle. When the couple times he's cut promos, it hadn't been that good,
Have either of you guys been hearing about this problem between MVP and Speedball Mike Bailey?
No.
So this is on MSN. MVP and Speedball Mike Bailey.
Wait, what is this on?
MSN.com.
You like MSN.com?
Yeah, MSN.com.
Like literally, like a mainstream news source, MSN.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, let's see. This is wait a second. So this has come from, did any dirt sheets report this?
Yeah, this has been going on. There was,
but is this are they reporting? Are they crediting a dirt sheet for this? Or is this? Go ahead. Why don't you just pull it up?
Sometimes it's faster on my phone. Do you want to see it?
We can't see it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to see it. So, like I said, they've given a lot of time to Speedball Mike Bailey, and I don't get him. And I just do not. I mean, they kind of positioned him as like on the same level as like these guys. He's going like 14, 15 minutes with these guys every time he wrestles them.
Tony likes him. The fans like him. I can't believe that Marina blows up. Like she takes out this guy Bailey during the match and gets in the black guy's face.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah. So
Utah means, and he needs all this time to beat this guy.
Right.
And he needs help to beat him too.
Right. So then Will Utah interfered. Then Darby appeared in the crowd and snatched Utah and put a rag over his face. Then Moxley got distracted. Then Bailey rolled him up for near fall. Then Moxley escaped and then applied a sleeper. But then he escaped the sleeper. But they did a really terrible looking spot. Bro, when you're gonna do MMA, okay, and you got that arm breaker spot on the guy, bro, that's a tap out. Nobody's getting out of that. They did a whole like minute angle here where Moxley had Bailey had Moxley in the arm breaker, which and any UFC fight we've ever seen is a submission 100% of the time. Okay, so Moxley kind of rolled through it and ended up like picking him up, and then he rolled through. I don't know. It's just a very, very bad looking spot. I can't. When you try to fuse UFC spots in with this, and you're not selling them like they do in the UFC, it looks ridiculous. But Moxley wins. After the match, Kevin Knight checked on Mike Bailey, and Moxley made his escape to the back to find Wheeler, Utah, and see what happened to him. But what did you think of this?
Too long, too much help. It looks like they're going to do something with Allen and Moxley, which might be good. I cannot believe that this guy climbed Mount Everest and we have no footage of this. I thought it was a little bit hokey that it looked like they were going to run over.
Well, no, we haven't got that yet. I'll get to that. Okay. Joe, do you get the clip?
You want to read it or you want me to read it?
Yeah. Okay. MVP and Speedball Bailey found each other backstage at Wednesday's Dynamite. Following reports that the pair have been having issues. In a post shared by MVP on his Instagram channel, he and the rest of the Hurt Syndicate run into Bailey, who's filming a video back. Wait, this is an angle, Joe. I saw the clip.
No. These guys have a problem.
Okay, all right.
It says that they're playing around with each other. It says the playful interjection.
Joe, you read it because I can't.
All right, we'll go with this one then.
All right, here we go. All right. MVP arrived at All Elite Wrestling back at Grand Slam in September 2024. He was swiftly bringing the trio found massive success in a space of. Okay, some of these reports mentioned MVP had a particular issue with Speedball Mike Bailey, letting it be known that he didn't want the Hurt Syndicate to lose to Jet Speed. The reason
I wouldn't be losing to them either.
Right. The reason for them having any sort of issue is unknown. Also, there was, that's it? No, go back to the other article.
No, but in the other one, it says there's playful interjection and
we didn't Joe, this is not is that the one I was reading?
Yeah, look,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
playful interaction comes just a few hours after reports surfaced that alleged MVP had heat backstage with several people. So, like, they're making
Breaking
light of this.
Right.
Yeah.
So, because I was
Where's
saying,
that? Where's the
bro,
seriousness?
because here's what I was thinking. Did you hear the reports that were surfacing during the day that Hurt Syndicate and Alvarez was talking about it too? They don't like to do jobs. They've turned down work with FTR. They turned down work. Bro, what's so difficult here? There's the angle. They're turning down Matt. They're calling their own shots, and then you play that storyline backstage. You know, at least now they can be heels. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't know.
Because why would Shelton and Lashley be doing jobs for Jet Speed?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta be
Even me as a booker, I don't see the logic there.
right. Yeah, well, anybody doesn't see the logic that's been a booker before.
It was Fightful that reported several towns have expressed MVP has heat with them, and it's well known on stage that MVP dislikes Speedball Mike Bailey. That's what I was.
Interesting. Well, I can see that because maybe some of these, bro, you remember when MVP had the issue with Sammy Guevara? You know, MVP's a veteran and he commands respect back there. And I wonder if some of these new cats, you know, that think they're on TV now and hot shots and stuff, they're getting, you know, they think that like maybe they're, you know, people online are talking about that they're getting kind of an attitude. I don't know, but I mean, you see it. Like you work with these people, like a AAA, you work in the same thing.
Well, because I can see it already. I can see young guys telling them, "Oh, don't be a mark." You know, somebody put you over,
Right.
and they're like, "Well, that's how we stayed over by not doing jobs with J-Brones like you." And it's as easy as that. But I don't see where the fight is because I'm just reading something where they're saying, "Oh, playful interaction,"
Joe,
like they're making light of
pull
it.
it up. There's I saw that clip today on Twitter. I thought they were just messing around. I didn't think that was like, and I'm wondering if if these marks in the kayfabe dirt cheap media are looking at that and trying to make a story out of it, thinking that was real.
The reports were previous to that, and this is supposed to be like their MVP response to their cheap reports because it initially came out on Fightful that MVP, you know, it's known backstage he doesn't like Mike Bailey, and that was the response to it was on MVP's.
Interesting. Well, I'm team MVP. Even though I don't. Mercedes Moné pulled up and Renee Paquette complimented her. She had all her belts there. Moné told her stop being such a mark and walked away. This next match was a sight for the eyes.
This was one of the worst spots I've ever seen.
Sky Blue, right?
Okay, please put that spot, Joe.
First of all,
because I'm sure you didn't see it.
Sky Blue versus Queen Laminata versus Alex Windsor versus Billy Starks. Okay, and this was a perfect example of what I talk about, where these girls get together and they get way ahead of their skis in their creativity trying to do spots, and they just can't perform the spots effectively because they're not athletic enough to do the spots that they're laying out. All right. Just numerous times in this match, just clunky. They're trying to do lucha. It doesn't look good.
Yeah, but there's nothing worse than this.
So then they do a spot at the end. Do you have the spot?
With the chair.
The chair spot with Queen Amanada.
Did you even watch this or no? Man, why does that not surprise me?
Well, the problem with AEW, if you're not watching Konnan, is like, I have to watch AEW on Max and just fast forward through it because, perfect example.
Yeah, but like sometimes I'll go through Twitter and I'll find about 5 or 6 things that I didn't know were happening.
Correct. But it's very difficult to search for that stuff for AEW. Okay,
that I didn't know.
WWE is very. Just go to YouTube. Just go here and like everything. They got the story. They got everything, right? Just whatever you miss is on there. But like AEW, you got to kind of look, and it's like not readily that they don't do a good job of putting this stuff on their pages. You know, it's just like they're not good with the social media. So, you got the spot, Joe?
Yeah, I'm going through the match now.
Well, there's only one spot with a chair outside.
Hang on, I think somebody put it on. I want to bring something up too, Konnan. This is hysterical. Somebody posted this spot last night, like literally right after the show.
Right.
And it was so bad they put a copyright strike on it. I bet you they put a copyright strike on this one too. Maybe that's
it was terrible.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah. So she did.
How brutal was that?
So they throw her outside. But just to give you the example, so Queen Amanada, they put a chair down. Sky Blue puts Queen Amanada with her to the chair, and here it is. There you go. Joe's got it. Good job, Joe.
This is terrible. It's before this. It's before this.
That's before the show. Right. The spot right before this. Then she does that. So that's actually wrong too.
They had a 5-second clip. I'll find a longer one.
Okay. Well, so the spot before that, she does the thing where she's supposed to flip over her, like jump on her plate, and she did, and she banged her head off the chair onto herself. Okay, and sold it. Then Queen Amanada picked her up and just dropped her right on the chair, and you could tell Sky Blue got hurt for a shoot because she screamed. because she dropped her right on the edge.
Well, on the edge, right?
Yeah.
Because she was trying to
Bro,
ad-lib and make up for the...
So they were, this match was so clunky and so reckless, okay, that Sky Blue kept taking, Billy Starks kept taking bumps on her head, okay, to the point that Tony Schiavone and Taz were kind of laughing at how violent this match was, and they were bringing up somebody should check Billy Starks because it looks like she's got her belt. Like the announcers were putting over how clunky this match was, and they were literally on air laughing about some of the spots because they were like botches. They were just like these girls looked like they were killing each other because they couldn't protect themselves. All right, here we go. You're gonna love this spot, Joe. She sets her up
inside the ring because Alex Windsor.
Oh my God. Okay, but play the spot afterwards. So she cheered.
How terrible is that?
Then she picks her up and drops on the chair. She hits on the edge to the side of the chair too, and she screams because it hurt. Look, she shoots you.
You could have really fucked her up, bro.
Well, there was numerous spots in this match where these girls could have screwed each other up. So basically, then who went over in this? Alex Windsor. She won the Fatal 4-Way. So then, because we got to overbook everything. Actually, Athena tried to get involved in this match, and Toni Storm was out there ringside. She pulled her. This was the best part of the match. Toni Storm pulled her out of the ring and clocked her with a forearm, and Athena sold it great. Okay, like a clobbered. So then Mercedes walked out with her championships, and she and Windsor had a stare down. Okay, and then Athena quickly delivered the stunner off the top rope to Toni Storm, and then Mercedes did the backstabber to Windsor, and then Athena and Mercedes declared a truce, stared at each other, declared a truce, and left each other alone. What did you think of this segment?
Well, here's the thing with Monet, bro. She's got 6 to 8 belts right now. I'm not sure how many. Bro, you got to give some of those out so other girls can get a shine.
Does it really matter? We don't even know what the belts are. She's walking out there with a bunch of belts.
Well, bro, I think if 3 girls had 3 belts and they could do 3 different matches, that would be a way more interesting than, this whole year of just collecting belts.
Right. Before this match, Toni Storm and Alex Windsor did an interview with more lesbian
overtones. It's stupid.
Yes, yeah. But Toni Storm is still excellent in her character.
She's the best character on the show.
Correct.
Get in the game with the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Bet on the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, soccer, golf, MMA, and more. Every sport, every market, right at your fingertips. Deposit instantly with PayPal, Venmo, or Apple Pay, starting at just $10. Win big and cash out fast. PayPal in 24 hours or instantly at retail sportsbooks. Available in over 20 states, FanDuel's app is your ticket to the action. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app now.
So Renee Paquette interviewed the Young Bucks back. Oh, by the way, so we had I forget. How did I miss this? So they go back. I forgot to go backstage earlier. After the Moxley match, they ran outside and there was a bag on the floor, a body bag. And they opened it up. Wheeler Yuta was in the body bag, showing, and he had Forbidden Door on a piece of paper plastered on his head. And then they had to act like they were going to get run over by Darby Allin when he drove by.
That was the hokeyest part.
I don't know. It's like, I don't know. They do these angles and try to go outside the box, and it just looks like amateurish, like the way they produce this stuff. The Young Bucks got an interview backstage, and they got really excited about fighting Brodito, which is Brody King and Bandito. And they noticed a production guy, and they gave him crap about making their ring entrance nicer. Give us pyro. They were yelling at the guy, right? So you knew what was going to happen next. So then I introduced Kyle Fletcher and Don Callis. Don Callis, thank you, Don, for telling your guys to come dressed for work this week. Okay, because all those guys were dressed to the nines and looked pretty cool out there. Did you agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Don Callis, for telling those guys to dress like pros on a show where a lot of guys are starting to dress nicer on the show now. And maybe they're getting the hint. But this is kind of a weird promo because Fletcher didn't really challenge anybody. They just talked about winning the championship, and then Don Callis Fletcher said no matter who shows up, his hand will get raised. He'll be the TNT champion for a long time. And that they showed a picture. Don had a picture of them in kind of very metrosexual looking pose with the two of them together. And then they hugged to end the segment. And what'd you think of this Fletcher interview? He's good on the mic, but he didn't really say anything. He didn't challenge anybody. It was just a generic interview.
It was all right.
Yeah.
It was all right. It was nothing. I thought the first painting was way better.
Right.
Second, a little bit too much, but I'm all right with it.
So they showed clips. Okay, they recap Adam Copeland doing the Stokely Hathaway before they interview Adam Copeland. At least to kind of get it a little bit, it's kind of like they're filling you in before we start the segment. And Adam Copeland asked what his take was about Christian last week. And Copeland said he didn't know what to think about Christian since he refused accountability for being an last few years and didn't apologize to anybody for anything. He then said he's spoken to Tony Khan and got a match with Stokely Hathaway scheduled for next week. If FTR interferes, the restraining order is null and void. They have a restraining order. They can't be near each other.
Oh my God.
So then Brodito came out. Brody King is barking. The Young Bucks versus Brodito. I can't, dude, on the show with so much thigh slapping, I can't watch Bucks matches. Like everybody, this is just a thigh slap extravaganza. But
I did think it was funny.
Oh yeah, they did the entrance and it was ruined.
Right, that was hilarious. Right. And the fact that he told Jason Roberts or whatever his name, Justin Roberts, to make sure they don't make him sound like Jay Brones, which he did.
Right.
So at least they're more entertaining than they were before.
Right. They're selling it that they're not the EVPs anymore, so now they're just getting abused by everybody, which is how they should be selling this angle.
Right. Very well done.
They had that segment before where they berated the production guy too. Like, make sure you get it right. So.
Yeah, make sure you give this to Justin Roberts. Make sure he says it right because you knew what was going to happen. You're going to score. Right. But what you call it? Brodito won.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm not, bro. That finish that they're doing where they flip him and Brodito does a
right.
Bro, he can't. He's going to hurt somebody with that. He's coming down with too much force too fast. So like he can't protect the guy. Like if you land wrong, you're gonna clobber the guy who's just lying there on the mat. You know? Do you agree with that? That's not a very
possibility is there.
You know? Yeah, yes. Definitely is there. Okay, so all right.
By the also thing, I thought this was hilarious, and I didn't even notice this till I read it on Twitter this morning. I like how they referred to the Young Bucks as Max and Jeremy, which is what they were called in TNA when they were Generation Me.
Oh, really?
That's right. That's how Justin announced him. Yeah.
Right. Joe, do we have does they have the quarter hours yet up on WrestleNomics?
Let me see, because they just came out half hours.
Okay. All right. Yep. Oh, they do? The quarters are up or just the show thing?
No, I got them.
All right, pull it up. Because I'm very interested in what happens next year. All right, so they did that match. So they had a 20-minute match, the Young Bucks and Brodito, okay? They did a 11-minute match with those four girls, and they had a 15-minute match with Bailey and Moxley, right?
Right.
So I'd like to see what the quarter hours are at this point. Bro, they went through a 20-minute stretch coming up here where all they did was packages and backstage interviews. Like literally did that from like a huh? Yeah. So interesting. So the show, let me look here. The show peaked with that's a 9 o'clock hour. Okay. 7:40. Wow. You know what they did wrong here? So they have a couple commercial breaks. Okay. But they did just all interviews and promos. And these promos and backstage interviews and vignettes could have been spaced throughout the show, but they put them like all together, like all in a row. So let me go. It's like, this is very weird. So starting with MJF goes, the Hurt interview was interviewed in a room. And bro, when you do the buildings, you can't be doing promos there was just like a closet that had 3 chairs in the back. Did you see this? Where the Hurt?
I didn't know. I didn't really notice it as much as you did.
It was just a closet, like a little area backstage, and they just put 3 chairs there. Nothing on the walls. Just very, just I don't know. It's just like they're all in suits and everything, and just their environment looks silly, right? So they were interviewed about Brodito because the tournament, they're wrestling for a chance to wrestle them, right? He extended them congratulations, said whoever wins the tournament, more than happy to hurt them at Forbidden Door. So then MGF walks into the picture and made a pitch for MVP to leave Bobby and Sheldon behind and go after the World Championship. And Sheldon and MVP just walked. Sheldon and Bobby just left. So MVP told him his ego was too big for anybody to stand. And then the Hurt syndicate, we hurt people. And all he could ever talk about was himself. He said as his last act of kindness, because he loves him like a little brother, they would leave him in one piece to pursue his belt. But he hoped he failed in his mission because he loves him like a brother. And if you succeed, Bobby Lashley would be coming after you. And it would not be business. It would be very personal.
And he gave him the thumbs down,
and he gave the thumbs down and left. This was a good storytelling segment. So then we go to a backstage segment where FTR and Stokely Hathaway are being interviewed by Alicia, who is MJF's girlfriend. All right. And I got to admit, I thought Stokely Hathaway did a really good promo here. because I'm not a big fan of his promos. Stokely said he can't believe that Copeland is doing this at his big age. He insulted Copeland for being a clown, said his wife had a head like a Metro brawler. And Stokely called Copeland's kid delinquents and said he was a broken man who can't get any hoes. He would take out all of his frustrations when he beats Copeland next week. This was actually good. If you guys go listen, I thought this was Stokely Hathaway's best promo he's cut in the company so far. What did you think of this?
I'd probably agree.
Right. So now we go to a video package that focused on Okada and his recent victories. Okay. And that it was actually a pretty decent package. It told the story of Okada and Swerve's after now. So then we go to a Swerve Strickland interview on the stage. And she asked about his match for the Unified Championship at Forbidden Door. And he said he had put down his good friend Will Ospreay last year for Forbidden Door. And if he could do that to his friend, what does he think it would do to him? He said, people say Okada is a Japanese legend, but no one will ever be able to replicate Swerve Strickland. He said he's lost some of his biggest match of his career in London, and he would use that opportunity against Okada to cement his legacy and knock a chip off his shoulder. And he said he would claim the Unified Championship and make his claim to being the greatest of all time. All right. Then we go to another interview segment where Mark Briscoe was asked about the main event, said he couldn't wait to get his hands on MJF. She said that he has won 3 consecutive main events, and winning tonight could mean a shot at the AEW World Championship. Then Hangman Page showed up, and he told Mark that he's always respected him, but never more than the last few years. He then said he hoped Mark was his next challenger and shook his hand. Then Queen Aminata was she felt she could have been Mercedes Moné if she had the opportunity. Then Willow Nightingale walked up and said she was sorry she didn't win early, but she gave a great performance. She then said that she would get revenge on Saturday when they faced the Triangle of Madness. Chris Statlander walked up and put on a very fake personality and pretended to be all about women supporting each other. And a very interesting little thing I noticed in this is Statlander was being very handsy with Renee Paquette, and she actually put her hand and slid it into Renee Paquette's front left pocket during this promo that I noticed, and I thought this was interesting. And so that was it. That was just like, I think that was 6 straight interviews and packages, and they were all good for the storytelling. But the positioning here of like where they put it all in the show, just all in a row instead of like spacing this out in between, like, it's like they're getting there, like they're getting it. Let's do let's tell stories, let's do character development, but
they're not all the way there yet.
He had no where to put this on the show. So it's like, so what they did, so the way he laid that out, what do you see? Joe, pull the numbers up again. Bro, that what I said, all those angles, that was 20 minutes because I went back and I counted it. Like all those vignettes and packages were 20 minutes. So let me see here. So it started at like a little after 9:30. Yeah, so 9:30 had 728,000 people. And then by the time it was over, you had 600, you lost 100,000 people just spacing one after the other because your audience likes wrestling and you have to put matches in there and action and stuff. And like so there was no action going on. Their fans were literally just changing channels. So maybe that's a lesson they could learn for the next time they do this. MJF versus Briscoe, 17 minutes.
I would like to say that Swerve, I like when he's in promo battles. He seemed to get lost and tongue twisted on this promo. Bro, that dance that make me whip, watch me nay, that one that Nana does is super played out. If there's 3,000 people there, maybe 20 white guys with no rhythm are doing it. It's super brutal and it needs to be phased out. Swerve's house is cool because it's a callback thing, right? But I like when Swerve is in a promo battle. Obviously, he can with Okada because his English is limited.
So MJF beats Briscoe, but Briscoe had his foot on the ropes. Briscoe complains to the referee that his foot was on the ropes. So MJF attacked him for complaining and put on his diamond ring and punched him in the face. And guess what happened there? Blood. So that brings out Adam Page. So MJF ran at Page. They brawled in the pathway to the ring. They were separated, and they brawled in the crowd. Hangman Jeff checked on Briscoe. MJF returned to run his mouth, and Hangman and MJF brawled in the crowd for a bit. They returned to ringside where Hangman set for buckshot lariat. MJF bailed and ran back up towards the stage to end the show. Once again, the best brawler on that show when they do these things is Hangman Page, because this was actually really good, I thought.
Yeah.
So any comments about the match? I mean, nobody thought
Well, the match was good. The aftermath was good. It's a shame there was the lowest rated segment.
Right.
But, they got some good stories coming up. They got Hangman versus MJF versus maybe Mark Briscoe in a 3-way, maybe. You've got Tony Storm versus Athena, which I'm sure will be very creative.
Right.
You got Okada versus Strickland, where Strickland's basically calling him out and saying, everybody said you're the best wrestler of the last 10 years. You're the big bout machine. Well, I'm ready to show you that it's not you anymore. It's me. We got Moxley and Darby, which could be interesting. So we've got a couple things that are kind of shaping out to be interesting, to their credit.
Right. So, and plus too, I mean, and this is, it's kind of weird how, like they do this super long-term storytelling, right? So it's like we're eventually getting to MJF and Lashley, but it's like, bro, look at all the lane you did in between all this just to get there.
Right.
Like still the Hurt Syndicate is like you could have had the Hurt Syndicate involved in more essential booking than just wrestling Jet Speed or whatever, like just for all those weeks they were in the angle with them, So I don't know. They're getting better. It's kind of learning a little bit more that you do have to tell stories and do packages and stuff. So we're seeing more of those on the show. Maybe they've hired a couple new guys to help with this, But I'm not interested. The Death Rider stuff, it's not interested. Even though Darby's involved, they're kind of making they're doing long-term storytelling here. Darby's taking forever to do something, just to like even talk. I don't know. Dude, I don't know. The women's match was a sight for the eyes because it was like so. I don't know what it was, but yeah. But I'm definitely interested in the MGF's the best thing on the show. And so it's Hangman Page. I think it's hard pressed for anybody to argue that stuff's the best stuff on the show. Would you agree with that?
Yes. What's your top 5?
Top 5 was the brawl at the number 5 was what you call it. I like the Cody Cena promo on Friday night. I like the Seth cashing in at SummerSlam. I like the Brock coming back at SummerSlam. I like the other Heat at the end of Raw. And I liked the other MJF Hurt Syndicate and Hangman stuff. And those are all like tired. I couldn't really pick out one thing better than the other. I was interested in all that stuff. What about you?
Yeah, number 5 to me was Right Call, Bliss and Flair. Number 4 was the MJF Cowboy Briscoe, and I'll even throw Hurt Business in there. Number 3, there is nothing better than the chair spot.
Botch is number 3.
Right.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Punk showing up late but mad. And number 1 was a Cody Cena match from SummerSlam.
Yeah, some good. You know what? Maybe that's why AEW did good numbers, because the WWE came out of SummerSlam with some buzz.
Maybe.
Maybe it's like people were, So yeah, I don't know. Maybe they are kind of like, the high tide rises all ships. So I don't know. So that's been our weekly television reviews.
Boom. Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.